SST Class 6 Contents Forward Rationalization of content in the textbooks. 1. The Earth in the solar system. 2. Globe, latitudes and longitudes. 3. Motion of the Earth. 4. Maps. 5. Major domains of the Earth. 6. Our country India. Appendix 1, Appendix 2. Continents History Forward Rationalization of content in the textbook. Why study history? 1. Introduction: what, where, how and when. 2. From hunting, gathering to growing food. 3. In the past, earliest cities. 4. What books and burials tell us. 5. Kingdoms, king and an early republic. 6. Any question and ideas. 7. From a king to an empire. 8. Villages, towns and trade. 9. New empires and kingdoms. 10. Buildings, paintings and books. Political science. Content Forward Rationalization of content in the textbook on using this book. Unit 1 Diversity. Chapter 1 Understanding Diversity. Chapter 2 Diversity and Discrimination. Unit 2 Government. Chapter 3 What is Government? Unit 3 Local Government and Administration. Chapter 4 Panchayati Raj. Chapter 5 Rural Administration. Chapter 6 Urban Administration. Unit 4 Livelihoods. Chapter 7 Rural Livelihoods. Chapter 8 Urban Livelihoods References. Class 7 Content Geography. Forward Rationalization of content in the textbook. Chapter 1 Environment. Chapter 2 Inside Our Earth. Chapter 3 Changing Earth. Chapter 4 Air. Chapter 5 Water. Chapter 6 Human Environment Integrations, the tropical and the subtropical region. Chapter 7 Life in Deserts. Appendix. History. Contents Forward Rationalization of content in the textbook. 1. Introduction: Tracing changes through 1,000 years. 2. Kings and kingdoms. 3. Delhi 12th to 15th century. 4. The Meghalayas 16th to 17th centuries. 17. Tribes, nomads and settled communities. 6. Devotional paths to a divine. 7. The making of regional cultures. 8. 18th century political formations. Political Science. Unit 1 Equality in Indian Democracy. 1. Equality. Unit 2 State Government. 2. Role of government in health. 3. How the state government works. 4. Growing up as boys and girls. 5. Women change the world. 6. Understanding media. 7. Markets around us. 8. A shirt in the market. Class 8 Contents Geography. Forward Rationalization of content in the textbook. Chapter 1 Resources. Chapter 2 Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. Chapter 3 Agriculture. Chapter 4 Industries. Chapter 5 Human Resources. History. Contents Forward Rationalization of content in the textbook. 1. Introduction: How, when and where. 2. From trade to territory. From trade to territory comes the company establishes power. 3. Ruling the countryside. 4. Tribals, Dikus and the vision of golden age. 5. The people revolt. 1856 and after. 6. Civilizing the native, educating the nation. 7. Women, caste and reform. 8. Making of a national movement. 1870s to 1957. Political Science. Contents Forward Rationalization of content in the textbook. Introductory Note for Teachers. Unit 1 The Indian Constitution and Secularism. Chapter 1 The Indian Constitution. Chapter 2 Understanding Secularism. Unit 2 Parliament and Making of Laws. Chapter 3 Parliament and Making of Law. Unit 3 The Judiciary. Chapter 4 Judiciary. Unit 4 Social Justice and and marginalized. Chapter 5, understanding marginalization. Chapter 6, confronting marginalization. Unit 5, economic presence of the government. Chapter 7, public facilities. Chapter 8, law and social justice. References. Class 9th, contents. Geography. Forward. Class 1, the story of village Palampur. Chapter 2, people as resource. Chapter 3, poverty as a challenge. Chapter 4, food security in India. This was economics. Chapter contents. Geography. Forward. Rationalization of content in the textbook. Chapter 1, India, size and location. Chapter 2, physical features of India. Chapter 3, drainage. Chapter 4, climate. Chapter 5, nature, vegetation and wildlife. Chapter 6, population glossaries. History. Contents. Forward. History and the changing world. Section 1, events and processes. 1, the French Revolution. 2, secularism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. 3, Nazism and the rise of Hitler. Section 2, livelihoods, economics and societies. 4, forest society and colonialism. 5, pastoralists in the modern world. Credits. Political science. Contents. Forward. A letter for you. How to use this book. Chapter 1, what is democracy? Why democracy? Chapter 2, constitutional design. Chapter 3, electoral politics. Chapter 4, working of institutions. Chapter 5, democratic rights. Contents. Class 10. Forward. Economics. Forward. A few introductory words for teachers. Chapter 1, development. Chapter 2, sectors of Indian economic. Chapter 3, money and credit. Chapter 4, globalization of Indian economy. Chapter 5, consumer rights. Appendix. Suggested readings. Contents. Forward. Rationalization of contents in the textbook. Geography. 1, resources and development. 2, forest and wildlife resources. 3, water resources. 4, agriculture. 5, minerals and energy resources. 6, manufacturing industries. 7, lifelines of national economy. Appendix 1, Appendix 2, glossaries. History. Contents. Forward. Introduction. Section 1, event and processes. 1, the rise of nationalism in Europe. 2, nationalism in India. Section 2, livelihoods. Chapter 2, Section 2, livelihoods, economics and societies. 3, the making of global world. 4, the age of industrialization. Section 3, everyday life, culture and politics. 5, print culture and the modern world. Contents. Rationalization of content in the textbook. A letter for you. How to use this book. Political science. Unit 1. Chapter 1, power sharing. Chapter 2, federalism. Unit 3, Chapter 3, gender. Unit 2, Chapter 3, gender, religion and caste. Unit 3, Chapter 4, political parties. Unit 4, Chapter 5, outcomes of democracy. Class 11. Contents. Forward. Rationalization of content in the textbooks. Chapter 1, introduction. Chapter 2, collection of data. Chapter 3, organization of data. Chapter 4, presentation of data. 5, measures and central tendency. 6, correlation. 7, index numbers. 8, use of statistical tools. Appendix A, glossaries of statistical terms. Appendix B, table of 2-digit random numbers. Contents. Forward. Rationalization of content in the textbook. Unit 1, development policies and experiences, 1957 to 90. Chapter 1, Indian economy and the eve of independence. Law level of economic development under the colonial rule, agricultural sector, industrial sector, foreign trade, democratic condition, occupational structure, infrastructure. Chapter 2, Indian economy 1950 to 1990. The goals of 5-year plans, agriculture, industry and trade policy, important substitution. Unit 2, Economic reforms since 1991. Chapter 3, Liberalization, privatization and globalization and apprecial. Background: liberalization, privatization, globalization, Indian economic during reforms. And assignment. Unit 3, current challenges facing an Indian economy. Chapter 4, human capital formation in India. What is human capital? Resources of human capital. Human capital and human development. State of human capital formation in India. Education sector in India. Future prospects. Chapter 5, Rural Development. What is rural development? Credit and marketing in rural areas. Agriculture market system. Diversification into production activities. Suitable development and organic farming. Chapter 6, Employment, Growth, Informalization and Other Issues. Workers and Employment. Participation of people in employment. Self-employed and hired workers. Employment in firms, factories and offices. Growth and changing structure of employment. Information of India workforce. Unemployment, government and employment generation. Chapter 7, Environment of sustainable development. Environment, definition and functions. State of India's environment. Sustainable development, strategies of sustainable development. Unit 4, Development Experiences of India. A comparison with neighbors. Chapter 8, Comparative Development Experiences of India and its neighbors. Developmental path. A snapshot view. Demographic indicators. Gross domestic product and sectors. Indicators of human development. Development strategies and appreciation. Glossaries. Contents. Forward. Rationalization of content in the textbook. Chapter 1, Introduction to Maps. Chapter 2, Map Scale. Chapter 3, Latitude, Longitude and Time. Chapter 4, Map Projections. Chapter 5, Topographical Maps. Chapter 6, Introduction to Remote Sensing. Contents. Forward. Rationalization of content in the textbook. Unit 1, Introduction. 1, India location. Unit 2, Physiography. 2, Structure and Physiography. 3, Drainage system. Unit 3, Climate and Vegetation. 4, Climate. 5, Natural vegetation. Unit 4, Natural hazards and disasters, causes, consequences and management. 6, Natural hazards and disasters. Contents. Forward. Unit 1, Geography as a discipline. 1, Geography as a discipline. Unit 2, The Earth. 2, The origin and evaluation of the Earth. 2, Interior of the Earth. 3, Distribution of oceans and continents. Unit 3, Landforms. 5, Geomorphic processes. 6, Landforms and their evaluation. Unit 4, Climate. 7, Composition and structure of atmosphere. 8, Solar radiation, heat balance and temperature. 9, Atmospheric circulation and weather system. 10, Water in the atmosphere. 11, World climate and climate change. Unit 5, Water. Oceans. 12, Water, oceans. 13, Movement of ocean water. Unit 4, Life on the Earth. 14, Biodiversity and conservation. Glossaries. Contents forward. Rationalization of content in the textbooks on reading world history. Section 1 Early Society Introduction Timeline 1 6 MYA to 1 BCE Theme 1 Writing the City Life Section 2 Empires Introduction Timeline 2 C 100 BCE to 1300 CE Theme 2 The Empire Across 3 Continents Unit Theme 3 Nomadic Empires Section 3 Changing Tradition Introduction Timeline C 1300 to 1700 Theme 7 The Three Orders Theme 5 Changing Cultural Tradition Section 4 Towards Modernization Introduction Timeline 4 C 1700 to 2000 Themes C Displacing Indigenous Peoples Theme 7 Paths to Modernization Conclusion Suggested Reading Contents forward. A letter to you. 1. Constitution. Why and how. 2. Rights of Indian Constitution. 3. Election and representation. 4. Executive. 5. Legislature. 6. Judiciary. 7. Federalism. 8. Local government. 9. Constitution as a living document. 10. The philosophy of the Constitution. Contents. Rationalization of content in the textbook. Chapter 1 Political Theory and Introduction. Chapter 2 Freedom. Chapter 3 Equality. Chapter 4 Social Justice. Chapter 5 Rights. Chapter 6 Citizenship. Chapter 7 Nationalism. Chapter 8 Secularism. Contents forward. Rationalization of content in the textbook. A note to the teacher and students. 1. Social structure, stratification and social processes in society. 2. Social change and social order in rural and urban society. 3. Environment and society. 4. Introducing Western socialists. 5. Indian socialists. Contents forward. A note to the teacher and students. 1. Sociology and society. 2. Terms, concepts and their use in sociology. 3. Understanding social institution. 4. Culture and socialization. 5. Doing sociology research methods. Class 12 Contents forward. Introduction. 1.1 Emergence of macroeconomics. 1.1 Emergence of macroeconomics. 1.2 Context of the present book of macroeconomics. 2. National income accounting. 2.1 Some basic concepts of macroeconomics. 2.2 Circular flow of income and method of calculating national income. 2.2.1 The product of or value added method. 2.2.2 Expenditure method. 2.2.3 Income method. 2.2.4 Factor cost, basic prices and market prices. 2.3 Some macroeconomics identities. 2.4 Nominal and real GDP. 2.5 GDP and welfare. 3 Money and banking. 3.1 Functions of money. 3.2 Demand for money and supply of money. 3.2.1 Demand of money. 3.2.2 Supply of money. 3.3 Money creation by banking system. 3.3.1 Balance sheet of a fictional bank. 3.3.2 Limits of credit creation and money multiplier. 3.4 Policy tools to control money supply. 4. Determination of income and employment. 4.1 Aggregate demand and its components. 4.1.1 Consumption. 4.1.2 Investment. 4.2 Determination of income in two-sector model. 4.3 Determination of equilibrium income in the short run. 4.3.1 Macroeconomic equilibrium with price level fixed. 4.3.2 Effect of an autonomous change in the aggregate demand on income and outcome. 4.3.3 The multiplier mechanism. 4.4 Some more concepts. 5 Government budget and the economy. 5.1 Government budget meaning and its compounds. 5.1.1 Objectives of government budget. 5.1.2 Classification of receipts. 5.1.3 Classification of expenditure. 5.2 Placed surplus and deflect budget. 5.2.1 Measures of government deflect. 6 Open economy macroeconomics. 6.1 The balance of payments. 6.1.1 Current account. 6.1.2 Capital account. 6.1.3 Balance of payments, surplus and deflect. 6.2 The foreign exchange market. 6.2.1 Foreign exchange rate. 6.2.2 Determination of exchange rate. 6.2.3 Merits and demerits of flexible and fixed exchange rate systems. 6.2.4 Managed floating. Glossaries. Contents. Forward. Introduction. 1.1 A simple economy. 1.2 Central problems of economy. 1.3 Organization of economic activities. 1.3.1 The centrally planned economy. 1.3.2 The market economy. 1.4 Positive and normative economics. 5.1 Microeconomics and macroeconomics. 1.6 Plan of the book. 2 Theory of consumer behavior. 1.2.1 Utility. 2.1.1 Cardinal utility analysis. 2 Cardinal utility analysis. 2.2 The consumer's budget. 2.2.1 Budget set and budget line. 2.2.2 Changes in the budget set. 2.3 Optimal choice of the consumer. 2.4 Demand. 2.4.1 Demand curve and law of demand. 2.4.2 deriving a demand curve for indifference curves and budget constraints. 2.4.3 Normal and inferior goods. 2.4.4 Substitutes and complements. 2.4.5 Shifts in the demand curve. 2.4.6 Movements along the demand curve and shifts in the demand curve. 2.5 Market demand. 2.6 Elasticity of demand. 2.6.1 Elasticity along a linear demand curve. 2.6.2 Factors determining price elasticity of demand for a good. 2.6.3 Elasticity and expenditure. 3 Production and cost. 3.1 Production function. 3.2 The short run and the long run. 3.3 Total product, average product and marginal product. 3.3.1 Total product. 3.3.2 Average product. 3.3.3 Marginal product. 3.4 The law of diminishing marginal product and the law of variable proportion. 3.5 Shapes of total product and marginal product of average product curves. 3.6 Returns to scale. 6.7 Costs. 3.7 Costs. 3.7.1 Short run costs. 3.7.2 Long run costs. 4 The theory of firm under perfect competition. 4.1 Perfect competition defining feature. 4.2 Revenue. 4.3 Profit maximization. 4.3.1 Condition 1. 4.3.2 Condition 2. 4.3.3 Condition 3. 4.3.34 The profit maximization problem. Graphical representation. 4.4 4.4 supply curve of a firm. 4.1 short run supply curve in a firm. 4.4.2 long run supply curve in a firm. 4.4.3 the shutdown point. 4.4.4 the normal profit and break even point. 4.5 determinants of a firm supply curve. 4.5.51 technological process. 4.5.2 input prices. 4.6 market supply curve. 4.7 price elasticity of supply. 5 market equilibrium. 5.1 equilibrium access demand access supply. 5.1.1 market equilibrium fixed number of firms. 5.1.2 market equilibrium free entry and exit. 5.2 applications. 5.2.1 price ceiling. 5.2.2 price floor glossaries. Contents. Forward. Chapter 1 Data, its source and competition. Chapter 2 Data processing. Chapter 3 Graphical representation of data. Chapter 4 Spatial information technology glossaries. Contents. Forward. Rationalization of content in the textbook. Unit 1 population distribution density growth and composition. Unit 2 human settlements. Unit 3 land resources and agriculture. 4 water resources. 5 mineral and energy resources. 6 planning and sustainable development in Indian context. Unit 4 7 transport and communication. 8 international trade. Unit 5 9 graphical perspective on selected issues and problems. Appendixes, glossaries, references. Contents. Forward. Unit 1 human geography, nature and scope. Unit 2 the world population distribution density and growth. 2 human development. Unit 3 4 primary activities. 5 secondary activities. 6 tertiary and quaternary activities. 7 transport and communication. 8 international trade. Appendix 1 glossaries. Contest Part 1 Theme 5 Through the Eyes Travelers Perspection of Society. See 10th to 17th century. Theme 6 Bhakti Sufi traditions, change in religious beliefs and devotion text. See 8th to 18th century. Theme 7 An empirical capital Shivajianagara. See 14th to 16th century. Then the theme 8 peasants, jamindars and the state's agrarian society and the Mughal Empire. See 16th to 17th century. Part 3 Theme 9 Colonialism and the countryside, exploring official achieves. Theme 10 Rebels and the Raj. 1857 Revolt and its representation. Part 3 will follow. Theme 11 Mahatma Gandhi and the nationalism movement, civil disobedience and beyond. Theme 12 Framing the Constitution, the beginning of a new era. Part 1 Page 1 to 114. Theme 1 Bricks, Beats and Bones, the Harappan civilization. Theme 2 Kings, Farmers and Towns, early states of economic. C 600 BCE 600 CE. Theme 3 Kinship, caste and class, early society. 600 BCE to 600 CE. Theme 4 Thinkers, beliefs and buildings, culture development. C 600 BCE, C 600 CE. Contents forward rationalization of content in the textbooks, defining the focus of study, how to use this book. Part 3, theme 9, colonialism and the countryside, exploring official achieves. Theme 10, rebels and the Raj, the revolt of 1857 and its representations. Theme 11, Mahatma Gandhi and the nationalist movement, civil disobedience and beyond. Theme 12, framing the constitution, the beginning of a new era. Part 1, Theme 1, Bricks, Beading and Bones, the Harappan Civilization. Theme 2, Kings, Farmers and Towns, Early States of Economy, 600 BCE to 600 CE. Theme 3, Kinship, Caste and Class, Early Societies, c. 600 BCE to 600 CE. Theme 4, Thinkers, Beliefs and Buildings, Culture Developments, 600 BCE to 600 BC. Part 2, Theme 5, Through the Eyes of Travelers, Perceptions of Society, c. 10th to 17th century. Theme 6, Bhakti, Sufi tradition, changes in religious beliefs and devotional texts, c. 8th to 18th century. Theme 7, An imperial capital, Vijayanagar, c. 14th to 16th century. Theme 8, Peasants, Zamindars and the State, Agrarian Society and the Mughal Empire, c. 16th to 17th centuries. Contents. Part 1, Part 1, Theme 1, Bricks, Beads and Bones, a Harappan Civilization. Theme 2, Kings, Farmers and Towns, Early State and Economics, c. 600 BC to 600 CE. Theme 3, Kinship, Castes and Class, Early Society, c. 600 BC to 600 CE. Theme 4, Thinkers, Beliefs and Buildings, Culture Development, c. 600 BC to 600 CE. Part 2, Theme 5, Through the Eyes of the Travelers, Perceptions of Society, c. 10th to 17th century. Theme 6, Bhakti, Sufi tradition, changes in religious beliefs and devotion texts, c. 8th to 18th century. Theme 7, An imperial capital, Shivajinagar, c. 14th to 16th century. Theme 8, Peasants, Zamindars and its agrarian society and the Mughal Empire, c. 16th to 17th centuries. Part 3, Theme 9, Colonial and the countryside, exploring official achieves. Theme 10, Rebels and the Raj, 1857 revolt and its representation. Theme 11, Mahatma Gandhi and the nationalist movement, civil disobedience and beyond. Theme 11, framing the constitution, the beginning of a new era. Part 2 and 3 will follow. Contents forward. Letter to the readers. Rationalization of content in the textbook. Chapter 1, Challenges in Nation Building. Chapter 2, Era of One Party Dominance. Chapter 3, Politics of Planned Development. Chapter 4, Indian External Relations. Chapter 5, Challenges to a Restoration of the Congress System. Chapter 6, The Crisis and the Democratic Order. Chapter 7, Regional Aspiration. Chapter 8, Recent Developments in Indian Politics. Contents forward. Rationalization of content in the textbook. Preference. Chapter 1, The End of Biopolarity. Chapter 2, Contemporary Centers of Power. Chapter 3, Contemporary South Asia. Chapter 4, International Organization. Chapter 5, Security in the Contemporary World. Chapter 6, Environment and the Natural Resources. Chapter 7, Globalization. Contents forward. Rationalization of content in the textbooks. Suggestions for use. Chapter 1, Structural Change. Chapter 2, Cultural Change. Chapter 3, The Constitution and Social Change. Chapter 4, Change and Development in Rural Society. Chapter 5, Change and Development in Industrial Society. Chapter 6, Globalization and Social Change. Chapter 7, Mass Media and Communications. Chapter 8, Social Movements. Glossaries. Contents forward rationalization of content in the textbooks. How to use this textbook. Chapter 1 Introducing Indian Society. Chapter 2 The Democratic Structure of the Indian Society. Chapter 3 Social Institutions, Continuity and Change. Chapter 4 The Market as a Social Institution. Chapter 5 Patterns of Social Inequality and Exclusion. Chapter 6 The Challenges of a Cultural Diversity. Chapter 7 Suggestion of Project Work. Glossaries. Thank you.